Hey gang, Cheryl Todd here from Gun Freedom Radio. I am at the 2018 SHOT Show in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I ran into Terry Schappert.
A random event. I came out the door and I bumped into an old Special Forces buddy of mine, Larry Riley.
Which was not me.
Which was not, yeah. We go way back, but not that far back.
That, yeah.
And I was just
not that tough.
No, I didn't say that. But it's funny because this is the kind of place I was here. First time I was here was last year, because Hollywood Weapons hadn't even actually premiered yet, so they were kind of promoing it. And it's the funnest part of this was seeing the guys and that you work with. For example, I was getting off the plane and getting my luggage, and then I hear this Terry damn Schappert, and I look behind me and it was my sniper partner from the Special Forces sniper course that I went to in 2011. I hadn't seen that cat in like 4 or 5 years, and there he was.
That's crazy.
So that's the kind of thing about this. It's kind of like a meeting of old salts.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's good to see you.
You too.
We finally got it together.
Yes.
I know we were trying to get some interviews.
Yes, so Terry was supposed to be on our first January show, and then my schedule got screwed up, and then this guy is 10 times more busy than I am, and so then we said, well, we'll just try to connect at SHOT Show, which is almost like a wink and a nod because it's so crazy here.
And there you were.
And then, and we just bumped right into each other, which was amazing. And so the reason that I wanted to sit down and talk to Terry is because you are in season 2.
Right. We just finished a couple days ago. I flew here I filmed, it sounds so pretentious. I just flew here from Los Angeles. Yeah, we just wrapped the second season, and we'll start filming the third one in April, actually. So pretty soon.
Of Hollywood Weapons.
Hollywood Weapons, and it premieres February 24th on Outdoor Channel. I think it's a Saturday at 7:30. And it looks great. It's really fun. I mean, you've seen some of them, right?
Yes, it is so much fun because
we have a lot of fun.
It's sort of a cross between Mythbusters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And like a zany
guy
buddy.
Comedy.
Yeah, like a buddy
guy comedy
show.
Yeah, because Larry and I riff on each other a lot. He's the adult in the room.
Yes.
And I'm the child. Keeps popping up in very inopportune places and times for Larry, challenging him to do these tests. And I also get to, we've spoken before about this, so, it's a boy's dream in a way, because I just retired from Special Forces back in October of 2016, so I guess a year and plus now. But, I was an active duty guy for 9 years, got out, went to classical theater school, was an actor in New York City, doing really well. The war starts, so I joined back up to National Guard, Special Forces, the Green Berets, and I was deployed a lot. And in between there, I was doing theater gigs, and I ended up getting my first big show, Warriors, with Terry Schappert on History Channel, then Shark Week, and a bunch of other stuff. And the whole time I'm doing this, I'm still a Special Forces guy, so it means I'm going on deployments and training and all that kind of thing. And it was time to retire. I miss it. There's no better job in the world than being a Green Beret, and it's the family. They really are your family. As dysfunctional as we can be, and sometimes we are, we love each other. So, but I got lucky. I rolled right into Hollywood Weapons, and that's going really well. And so the third season's coming up. Second season, we had a lot of big surprises, and I get to do the gun thing. So if you're into guns, you'll like the show.
Great.
If you're into TV and movies and like, I love that scene, or I remember, you'll like the show. If you're into buddy comedies, like you said, you'll dig the show.
Yes.
And I think also if you like special effects and know how things do. Oh, finally you're here.
There he is. Speaking of buddy comedies, there's my buddy, my husband Dan.
Hey,
this is Terry
nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Have a seat and join
Sit
us
down.
with our conversation.
You can have some of my coffee if you want.
So
I would love to have some of your coffee, but I don't drink coffee.
So we were just saying that SHOT Show is like craziness, and so Dan's down doing his thing on the floor, making deals with buying guns and stuff. I'm up here talking with Terry, and so Dan just is kind of coming a little late, but that's okay. It's not even his fault.
That's the way it goes.
So we were just talking about, you've had such an interesting, Terry, career arc.
Interesting is a euphemistic term. I think the better word is maybe schizophrenic, or unfocused or crazy.
So Green Beret and stage actor, and
an anthropology guy. So I was in college. I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, UNCW, and my junior year, on a random thing, a friend of mine had a book about the Green. Now look, when I was a kid, we always played outside and soldiers and stuff like that. I think most boys do. But I hadn't thought about the military as a career. And then I read the book about Special Forces in Vietnam, and I remember what got to me wasn't the stories or the missions, which were pretty damn amazing and harrowing. It was the pictures of these dudes. Black and white pictures of guys coming out of the woods, dirty, obviously exhausted, arms around each other, black guys, white guys, Montagnards, Vietnamese, and they all look, and they're smiling. Yeah. And I thought, these dudes just cheated death, and now they're smiling. And some of them didn't come back, but they're still smiling. I go, that's the kind of man I want to be. So I read that book cover to cover, put it down, and go, that's going to be my life. So I did graduate. I did well. I was actually, had been thinking about graduate school for primates and stuff, which actually, being an Army guy, I get to study primates quite a bit since I am a knuckle dragger. I'm a knuckle dragger, yeah. So that was my background, and then I enlisted in the Army because I wasn't interested in being an officer. I didn't want to make it a career, and I thought the quickest way to get on the ground as a Special Forces guy is to be an enlisted guy. So I was an 82nd Airborne dude, infantry guy. We went to Ranger School, Panama. The Gulf War was my first rodeo back in, 1990, 91. And then when I got back from that, I tried out. I went to what's called selection, Special Forces selection, passed it, and then I got to go through the Special Forces medical sergeant course, because there's 4 different main jobs as a Green Beret. There's the medics, the weapons guys, the communications guys, and the demolition engineer guys. Medic was a good choice because my background was science in college. So yeah, it's a 2-year training program. When you tack on language, it's the longest course of all the Green Beret training, and I tell people that are going to do it, I go, you'll do it, just don't quit, and just understand it's a long slog. It's a really, really long slog. Yeah. So that was good. I finished that. I got assigned to a unit in Germany, 10th Special Forces Group, 1st Battalion, Charlie Company in Jersey, C1, and Jersey in Germany, Charlie 110. And it was, June of 97. I'd been in for almost 9, and I was like, I kind of did what I wanted to do. So I was like, yes. So that I had done theater in college and high school, and it was something that I was into. I actually got to do some plays, believe it or not, when I was at the unit in Germany, because when we were on a cycle where we weren't, unless there was a major emergency, we were going to be training. I got to do some shows in Germany with an American-German theater. So I knew that was what I wanted to do, and so I got out of the Army, went back to New York City, went to the theater program at Circle and Square, and went through all that training a couple of years, and things were going well. But then the war starts. Do I go on auditions? Do I get back in the fight? So October 01, I re-enlisted in the Army Special Forces National Guard. In March of 02, I was in the Middle East, and I'd go back and get come back. My day job was an actor. My real job was Special Forces guy at this point again, and all these different rotations. Then I got the shows. But the whole time I've been a Green Beret until about a year and a half ago.
So the Green Beret, the Army, the medic, all of that is just very, very, very serious stuff.
Yeah, it is.
But then you're a funny guy, right? I mean, you are. All you have to do is watch one episode of Hollywood Weapons and see the wig that you wear when you are
I also obviously have no shame. Well, you bring up a point. I've told people this before. Being a Special Forces guy, anything that we do in the military, it's a serious job. So we take the job seriously, but I don't think the good guys, the good ones, don't take themselves too seriously. Sure. It's people who take themselves seriously they're kind of tedious, right? And it gets old quick. So we have to. I was a senior rank and enlisted guy in a team for 5 years. So I was the team sergeant, and I thought, and I learned a lot. Having to deal with all those different but we're all the same. But I remember thinking 2 things. One, they don't work for me, I work for them. And the other thing is, one of the best qualities I could have on a guy in a team is a sense of humor. Right. Because you could teach anybody to shoot a gun or to do what we do, but this kind of thinking of being able to laugh when things are really crappy and make the other guys kind of just, everybody just, that's a sense of humor was probably one of the most important attributes I found. Yeah. Not just being a Special Forces guy, but being a leader of them and having them work for you. So it translates into the show, because I also think TV is the kind of thing where it's not a lot of military guys, and this is nothing against them. There's military guys with much greater skill backgrounds than me and much incredible experience. But sometimes when guys get on film, and I've told guys this, don't be the person you think they want to see. Be you. You're way more interesting than you think you could be. Create a character. So a lot of guys come on film and they kind of get this stoic vibe because it's kind of how they think you want them to be, when in fact, no, man, fall on your ass. Be vulnerable. I mean, that's a weird,
the crazy
touchy-feely word, but
Rambo
be
wig.
vulnerable and be you, and it's going to be eminently more interesting on television. So I think, I hope that comes through in the show. I think it does.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
That's the way it goes.
It is so much fun. And when you are doing this myth busting, you're not out there to tear down the movie.
Very important.
Or say, oh, this movie's so fake.
No.
Not at all.
No.
So,
the goal is definitely not to debunk something, because that's just kind of a bad attitude.
Right.
And I think the goal of Mythbusters.
Hollywood Weapons.
Hollywood Weapons.
Yeah.
But the goal of Hollywood Weapons has always been, and I think continues to even be more evident as they let us kind of run it the way we want, is to sort of celebrate those shows and honor them. So it's not to say, oh man, Bruce Willis couldn't have done that in Die Hard. It's like, hey, maybe this didn't work. Bruce Willis could have done it. You know, John McClane could have done it. And so it's never about debunking anything. It's about having fun. And if you're into the movie, you're like, oh, I remember that scene. Well, this knucklehead is going to put it to the test. I'll try it with that gun, and we'll replicate it as close as we can to what the real world conditions would have been. And of course, very safe. Larry Zanoff, my co-host, brilliant guy, super funny. He would have been a great Green Beret. He was a military guy in the Israeli Defense Forces. So we think a lot alike about stuff like this. And the goal is to really have a good time and do it safely. And sometimes it works.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're wildly successful, and sometimes not so much. But it doesn't. Either way, doesn't slam the movie.
Not at all.
And we've also got to work with now in the second season, which you'll see. We've gotten a chance to work with and sit down and talk with some really, really, really big celebrities. It is Hollywood Weapons. No one cares about me. I don't care about me. But to sit down and have an interview with Tom Selleck, or an interview with Gary Sinise, Nick Searcy from Justified, who's a great, Daniel Henney, who's a new cast member of Criminal Minds, super gracious guys. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, was a guest on our last show. So we bring a whole bunch.
Danny's interested.
By the way, you just sort of perked up on me there a little bit. You were nodding off to sleep there for a minute.
Stuff that blows up and Elvira.
Dude, come on. I mean, what more can we give you? I mean, are you not entertained?
Right. Well, I so appreciate you taking the time to come and
No, it's been my pleasure. I'm glad we were able to link up finally.
This is incredible. And so, once again, it is Hollywood Weapons. It is a cross between Mythbusters and a fun buddy comedy.
Yeah, behind the scenes. Can you do that? Can you, sort of a real TV movie nerd thing where like, oh, I know that scene, and we loop in as much as we can, and at the end of the day, I promise you, you're gonna laugh. And you're gonna learn something too.
You will, and it's heavy on the safety. You guys don't go out there and do stupid.
You guys are gun people, so one of the things that we always, because a lot of people who don't know anything about guns look at people like us like we just go off half-cocked. Actually, it's the furthest thing from the truth, right?
Exactly.
I mean, the most conscientious, I think, thoughtful people I know when it comes to guns are the people who are firearm enthusiasts. We pay attention. We don't take it. We don't finger drill that at all. And that's Larry wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have it.
Exactly.
And the network wouldn't either. So we keep it safe, but we also keep it fun.
I love it. And you can find it on the Outdoor Channel. Season 1 is already out there.
It's done, but you just go find it and then
binge watch it.
Binge watch it. They're short.
Right? Season 2 is out there. They've already signed for Season 3.
We'll start filming in April.
So this is going to be an incredible deal. And if people just want to learn more about the show or more about Terry Schappert, how do they do that?
Go to outdoorchannel.com/Hollywood Weapons. They're working on that. There's a Facebook page, I think, that Danny's putting together. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm pretty bad at Facebook, but I'll promise I'll get better.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you. Fine. Nice to meet you. Have a good time out here.
Absolutely.
Stay out of trouble.
All right. I got to get another
Thanks so much, Cheryl Todd, Dan Todd, Terry Schappert.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.